Hi, this is Dr. Sunderrraj from Department of Commerce, Sunderrraj College, Sivakasi. Now in this session, let us discuss on entrepreneurship. It is an attempt to give you a small awareness about entrepreneurship. In this session, we shall discuss why entrepreneurship is required, who can become an entrepreneur, and how you can become an entrepreneur. Now, let us first start with who is an entrepreneur. See, there is a small difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. Normally, people used to confuse between these two. All businessmen cannot become entrepreneur, but all entrepreneurs are businessmen. Now, an entrepreneur has a function of high achievement, which a businessman doesn't have. Businessman's motive is just to make profit, expand his business, increase his sales territory, and that's all. But an entrepreneur has a function of high achievement. He has a gap-filling function. The gap-filling function is whatever the society is lacking, like unemployment. People may be educated, but they may not have a good job. So an entrepreneur can start up a venture. He can provide some employment. This is a gap-filling function. And the most of above it is a balanced regional development. An entrepreneur is responsible. He feels himself that in backward area should be developed, like a rural area or a village. So he starts up an industry at an rural area. He finds an opportunity in that area and he starts up an industry there, and that results in a balanced regional development also. So these are some functions what defines an entrepreneur apart from a businessman, right? Now, what does this entrepreneur do for the society, do for the economy? Of course, an entrepreneur is a major contributor to the economy. We should accept that. A study says that an entrepreneur is contributing through small scale industries almost 45 to 50% of the exports made by our country. So that is almost half of the export is contributed by small scale industries. Then you can imagine what an entrepreneur is contributing to the economy. We know the importance of export. Export increases, we can on the other hand reduce our imports. Export or industrial productivity is an import substitution. We can reduce our imports. Money value increases. So this is the purpose why the government wants to promote entrepreneurship to the students. Now, who can become an entrepreneur? Anyone, any motivated person almost at an young age, say 18 to 35 years. Why 18 to 35 years? 18 years is the age where you can enter into a contract. You can go into business dealings. That's why 18 years. And above that you become matured. You know what's good and what's not. And about 35, there are some qualities of an entrepreneur which doesn't exist in the age group above 35 years. So let's discuss what are the qualities of an entrepreneur. Innovation. The first most quality is innovation. Now innovation is, we'll not talk about innovations. It's not just creativity. Innovation is thinking something for future, not for the present time. Now innovation can be of many types. For example, a market can be innovated. A product can be innovated. Not just development or creating something new in the product makes it innovation. How far it is useful, customer expectation. What customer expect and what is beyond his expectation is what we call as innovation. This is very important. This is one of the important quality which exists only at a young blood. People above the age of 35 start generating new ideas. So he is not an innovator anymore. Another important quality of an entrepreneur is risk taking. Now, who will take risk? People at a young age will take risk. People at an elder age, where they are more committed towards their family, will not take risk. So, without a capacity of taking risk, any person cannot become an entrepreneur. Next most important is knowledge. What you are going to do. What you want to do. You should have the knowledge. You should possess the knowledge, the technical know-how. It's not necessary that what you have studied, you do a business from the same stream. You can do something beyond that. So for that, you need a special knowledge also. This is very important for an entrepreneur to possess that knowledge, to acquire the technical skills, what the business or what the idea is going to implement. Now, another important quality of an entrepreneur is he should take the initiative. A lot of people may think that I can become an entrepreneur, but no one takes that initiative. This is very important for an entrepreneur. Being a risk-taking capacity in him, he should initiate. Whatever business idea he has thought of, he should try to initiate. try to accumulate the necessary resources for that, and he should initiate his business. That's a very important quality in an entrepreneur. People fail because of this initiation. They have all the ideas, they have the capacity to accumulate resources and start up a venture, but this initiation fails. They wait for somebody else. Don't wait for somebody else. You take the initiative and become an entrepreneur. Another thing, ability to manage resources. Now when we say resources, it may be capital, it may be raw materials, and it may be men, the person, human resource. Now all these things are what we call as resources. Now you should have the ability to manage these resources well. So this is also a quality of an entrepreneur. Leader. Another important quality is a leader. Now an entrepreneur should have that capacity to lead. There may be a lot of people behind you, your employees, the people who work under you. You should have the ability to lead them. A leader is a person who leads, and there are people who follows you, right? So an entrepreneur should have the capacity to lead. He should be a leader. And finally, he should be responsible for whatever he is doing. Not only the success, the credit of success people take, but the reasons for failure they impose on somebody else. An entrepreneur should not do that. Even if he fails, he should take that responsibility. That these are the important qualities what an entrepreneur should have. Now, let's discuss about some framework about entrepreneurship. What you should do. You understand yourself, person. Then you take up a task. That is what the business or what a small venture you are going to do. Task. Then go for the organization. Build up an organization. And after building up an organization, you synchronize with the environment. Now this is the framework. Person, task, environment, organization. Or organization and environment. Now a person, you understand the capacity, the skills what you possess in yourself. Take up a task, an innovative task, which as we already discussed, for a future view, for long lasting in the market, you take the environment, people, society, government, stakeholders, competitors, all these are your environment, and on the basis of this, you build up an organization. Now organization is a formal one. Now you define the roles and responsibilities of the people working in it. You are the leader, you define the roles and responsibilities for the people who work in it. Now, when you are able to do this, this is what we call as the framework of an entrepreneurship, and these 4 factors are interrelated to one another. You keep upgrading your skills. You take up new task every day, or once in often in a short while. You manage with the environment. People change, society changes, taste and preference changes, politician changes, government changes. You have to adopt, you have to abide with all the government rules and regulations. You have to face your competitions. It may be low at a time, it may be high at some time. Then your organization, you will face a lot of difficulties in your organization. Again, you have to cope up with all those difficulties, overcome that, and you have to establish a successful organization. So this is what the framework of an organization, what an entrepreneur should think of earlier. Now, the reason always we speak about some successful entrepreneurs. Let us talk about why entrepreneur fails. Now, there may be a lot of success stories of entrepreneur you might have come across, you might have learned it at many places. Now, I think that instead of speaking those success stories, let's talk about why entrepreneurs fail. The first most reason why they fail is a lack of good business idea. Your idea of your business or your idea of your entrepreneurship is not good, or not good in the sense it's not feasible. Feasible, not practically possible. It might be right for a short while. It might be okay for some time, but not long lasting. But entrepreneurship is a continuous process. You have to continue it for a long time. So you have to think of something which comes along with you. So lack of good business idea is the first reason for failure. Another important reason what people mostly face is lack of seed capital. Seed capital is the initial capital what we initially we have to put for your business. That is a small amount. The capital what you require for the starting of your business. And this capital people normally fail to accumulate, and their business idea goes flop. Now this is the important factor. Another important reason is motivation. Now when you want to become an entrepreneur, who will motivate you? for sure nobody is going to motivate you. People will be against this concept. Right from your family members to your friends and relatives, nobody is going to motivate you. The motivating factor is again becomes a bigger reason or a main reason why entrepreneurs fail. So you motivate yourself, you convince your family members, you tell your friends. Now don't, if you have an idea, don't go for that. Now another important reason why entrepreneurs fail is the know-how, technical know-how. Now these people, sometimes we lack knowledge of our business, we don't have 100% knowledge of what we are going to do. Just within small knowledge we start, and sometimes it becomes the reason for failure also. Now another important factor surrounding us which becomes the reason for our failure is society and culture. Now ask any girl to start up an entrepreneurship, even she may be ready, but the society will not allow her to start. This is the culture or society hindrances what we have in our present life. So these are some factors why these entrepreneurs fail. Before starting up a venture, they fail. The idea, even before it gets flourished up, it fails. Now, what shall we do, or how shall we become an entrepreneur? See, be innovative. Have a lot of idea generations. Keep creating. Keep innovating. This is the first thing what motivates you to become an entrepreneur. Be innovative. Find the opportunities at the right time, at the right place. Do it. Right? This is very important. Finding up an opportunity at the right time and performing it in the right place is important. So always seek for new opportunities. Arrange finance. As we discussed, this is the main reason for failure of entrepreneurship. Don't fail to arrange finance. Whatever money or capital that is required for a minimum startup, you arrange it earlier so that your idea is not struck or not failed because of lack of money. Good communication. Now your communication is the link or is the media between all the necessary factors of you. So you should have a good communication so that you can communicate, you can create a link between all the factors, whatever is necessary for your venture. Now, hard work. Work hard. It's not an easy task as we speak. Work hard to flourish your idea. Try to assemble whatever resources you require. Now, assembling these resources is again not an easy task, but you should know the sources from where the raw materials can be acquired, from where the finance can be acquired, from where the skilled laborers can be acquired. Try to assemble this, and failure of any one of this will lead to failure. Right? Be optimistic, always keep thinking, organize very well, and be flexible. After you do all these activities, you organize it very well. Right? Now, this is our part. Is there any part on which the government is able to assist you? Yes, of course. Not just speaking, just to become an entrepreneur by yourself. Government is also assisting you in lot of many ways. Now, what we should do for it? You start with a good business idea, you formulate a project, you just make all the alternatives available and you choose the best alternative, you make a report of that, you take it to DIC. DIC is District Industry Center. It is available in all the district almost. There are 472 DICs in all over India, and every major district will have a DIC office. You take it to DIC, you get it approved, get your project approved, and once your project is approved, all the commercial banks and leading financial institutions will support you. They will come forward to support you. They will give assistance. And now this assistance may be from 1 lakh to 5 lakhs at an initial period. Now this is quite a good money for those who have a good idea, but sometimes they are not able to come up with some capital. Now just think, if you are able to get this assistance from the government, from DIC, now the major part of your entrepreneurship is over. Now you have capital, abundant capital in your hand. Now this comes to your part. Now this is what we wanted to say. Even after speaking lot of these type of entrepreneurship awareness, we have lot of EDPs, entrepreneurial development programs, we have lot of such functions, we have motivating factors, but still India is in 165th position out of 200 countries which we have already studied. First is Singapore. Now, even though we provide lot of information, lot of knowledge about entrepreneurship, why we have to remain back? The reason is we failed because of some factors, and I have told you a lot of ideas to overcome such factors. I think this will lead to an successful entrepreneur. Thank you very much for your patience, and I hope this session was quite useful for you. You might have come up with a lot of ideas for entrepreneurship. And finally, I would like to thank our principal, management, and especially the Viscom department for putting their efforts and bringing this video as a successful one. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nadar.